Hello, 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 scrappy friends. It's Kim back from Making Creative Memories in Time. And I am just trying to get all of the equipment ready and set up. Hello, hello. Be sure to say hello when you pop on. That way I know you're here. I can see you and say hello back. Hello, hello. Happy Monday. I wonder how your Monday has been, friends. I have had an extremely busy yet, hello Beth, yet very productive day. Very busy and very productive. So tonight, friends, we're not going to do a whole page. We're going to do one thing. This page is going to take possibly 2 nights, maybe 3 to do, but we're going to learn. Well, I'm not going to say we're going to learn. I don't want to assume you don't know how to do this. I am going to make a brochure / journal pocket tonight. This right here on this sketch. So I'm ready to start my Overland Park album. And I have all of this botanical, all these botanical photos and this hydrangea haven paper, and I want to use it. So I'm inspired. This is a piece of sculpture art that was right in front of the parking lot area when we pulled up, and I love daisies. I love anything floral. I know this is not really like a daisy sculpture, but when I look at this, I see a daisy. So this is going to be the opening page, the title page of my Overland Park album. And so I printed this in a 5x7, and I went ahead and printed it with a white mat because I sort of had in my mind what I wanted this to look like. So I told chat exactly what I wanted. We will be building a hydrangea cluster, but that's not going to happen tonight. Okay. Hello, hello, April. So I just wanted to show you kind of where I'm going with this. So I have this brochure, and it was one that the nice little volunteer lady marked up. She drew over here somewhere where we needed to make sure that we saw different things, and I love that it's got this map, and I can refer back to this as I'm scrapbooking pictures, because not every picture that Dawn and I took did we take in front of whatever the name of the little garden is, or whatever the name of the little sculpture garden is. And so I definitely want this included in the scrapbook. And look, friends, it's ready to tear. This was in my bag for a hot minute, but I want to include this. But to disguise it, I'm going to have a little journal card. So I wanted to do some kind of pocket. So I think what's going to happen is I created this on the sketch. So we're going to put a pocket here that's going to sort of overlap. We'll have some inking and stenciling. There may be a smaller photo down here. I'm not sure. It may just be an embellishment cluster. And then we'll have an embellishment cluster here and a little something here. And that's going to be the page. So what I want to focus on tonight, friends, is the pocket that's going to hold this. So all I did, let me tell you how I got my base together. This is a piece of the green, and the back side of it is that like light blue stripe. And I gutted that to 1 inch, and then I cut 1/2 inch off 2 sides of my cardstock so that I have a 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. And I wanted like a PDF or a photo that you guys could use. So I measured out my dimensions, and I will post this. I will post this in the group. I will post it as a file, okay? That way, I saved it to my phone as a file. Hopefully it will go as a file and not a photo. Hello Gina. When I printed it, I had to print it as a photo, but it's plenty big enough if I can read it, and y'all know how I can't see anything. But hopefully this is going to turn out cutie tootie. I've never made one of these pockets before. If you've made a pocket, like a brochure pocket or a journal pocket before, drop a comment, let me know. I have not, so this is my first time. But I came in here and I sat down with my old handy dandy blue ruler and I measured out kind of what I thought I needed, and I want it definitely to be big enough that this will slide in, but I also don't want this to take away from the prettiness of the page, so I may need to trim a little bit of this off just so it will fit. But if I do, trust me, I will tuck that somewhere else on the page. Okay, so and I cut a title from this exact same paper, Overland Park, and I will be gluing that to my pocket. So let's get started, friends. So what I'm going to do, I am going to, when I told Chat the dimensions and how I wanted this, I was only talking about this sort of weathered blue piece of paper, and on the reverse of it is this gorgeous hydrangea. Like, it's going to almost hurt my soul to hide this gorgeous hydrangea, but I don't want my pocket to be busy. I want the title to be able to work. I may want a little stenciling, and then I may want to just draw a few lines and write something if there's room. So I first told Chat the dimensions for this, which is what's on here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this paper, and this is just a piece that was like 9 1/4 by 12. So we're going to cut this, and this is going to be our pocket. And then we're just going to cut this as a face to go on the pocket, if that makes any sense, friends. So this piece is going to be 9 1/2 this way by 6 this way, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we are going to go into 6 first. And all we're going to do tonight is do this pocket. And we'll come back and build the hydrangea at a later, like maybe Wednesday night. I know I won't be able to tomorrow night because I've worked really hard today on my reports and my eyes are hurting and I just needed to give myself a break. But tomorrow night I will have to work on reports. So now we're going to go to 9 1/2, okay? And then, and I've not created this, so this is, we may hit a home run, friends, and we may not hit a home run. So now we're going to switch out for the scoring blade. And you know what? I don't care if I don't hit a home run in front of you guys. You're my friends, right? So we're going to go in at 2 1/2 inches and we're going to do a score mark. Okay? And I think I'm going to flip it over because I want this to fold in. So I'm going to flip it this way because I think it may flip better. So we're going to do a score mark at 2 1/2, and then we're going to turn it around and do a score mark at 2 1/2 on this side. Okay, friends? And then we're going to take the score blade out and we're going to put our normal blade back in, our straight blade. And we're going to go ahead and pop this guy back in because we don't want blades to end up missing. When I was designing my last playbook, I did not get my scallop blade put back and I had to hunt like for where did I put that puppy. And then I'm going to pull in a bone folder. And very lightly, oh, we're going to have to score one more time, friends. I'm so crazy, crazy. We're going to have to score one more time. We need to score at the bottom. And the reason I want to score at the bottom is I want to flap at the bottom. And I wasn't thinking about that until just then when I started folding it. So this was 6 inches this way. I want to go to 5 5/8 this way, and then I'm going to run my score line right here, because that's going to be the little flap that's going to hold those back pockets shut, because the entire envelope is going to stick to the page. Okay, the entire envelope is going to stick to the page with hopefully some really strong tape. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to snip. I know this is hard for you to see, but I'm just going to snip out that little corner. And the reason I'm snipping that out is so that when I fold it, and I probably need to cut this piece off. I don't want this piece, so let's cut this piece off. All I want is this piece to fold up to make my pocket, okay? And this is the original pocket that we're going to do. And then we'll make a front from the wrist. 9.5 by 6. And April, I'm going to drop this in the group, okay? I'll drop this in the group, I promise. Now, I'll have to double check. I don't know. Over here, chat told you to score, but I don't think chat told you to score at the bottom. But we're going to score at the bottom because I don't want, at any point, I don't want this to come apart. And we may have to just snip a teeny little bit off here just to shorten this. And the reason I want to shorten this is so that when I fold it over, I'm not going to have a pucker. So that's the only reason why I'm shortening this. And if you create this pocket, you may see you need to shorten it too. It's not going to do anything to your pocket. We are just going to be able to put adhesive right there. And once we adhere that, now friends, we are going to have a pocket. When we get it, now I do have to trim some of this off because this is 4.5. So we'll have to trim some of that off when we're ready for that part. But see how that brochure is going to fit in there now, friends? Isn't that fun? I love it. So what we're going to do is I use this, it really, I don't know what name it is. I buy it at Hobby Lobby. I call it red line tape. It's a double-sided tape, and I love it. I just call it red line tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a length of it, and this is going to go pretty close to that edge. And I did not buy the kind that you can tear. The kind I have, you actually have to have scissors to cut it. Okay, now before I peel that off and stick this and put a piece here, I want to go ahead and y'all know me, I don't measure. I hope this don't make me sick. I don't measure, friends. I am just going to cut a little bit out with my circle punch, and I'm just eyeballing. Okay. So now I'm going to have that. I'm not worried about this because something's going to be tucked in there all the time. Okay. So now I am going to peel this off. Oh, it is, Gina. Listen, girl, I love this stuff. Brenda gave us the cutest little bag. The hard part for me is getting it started. Brenda gave us the cutest little bag at convention, and it's this cute little black bag, and it has these little, a truly amazing team is hard to find. Thank you for being a key part of our team's success. And I didn't want to like just put the bag away, so I used this red line tape and hung it below one of my shelves in my scrapbook room so that I can see it and be reminded of it. And girl, this has it sticking to my wall. I love this. And a roll of this literally will last forever. And I think it's the kind I buy is like the Paper Studio kind. And so when the Paper Studio stuff is on sale, you can get it on sale. And that's awesome. And then I will actually use this to adhere this to the scrapbook page as well. The hardest part for me, like I said, is getting the backing to peel off. And I have real fingernails, but I just still struggle with this. And then I'm just going to very gently come back. And so there is our pocket, friends. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to take a 1/4 inch. I should have taken my 1/4 inch before I used my little handy dandy punch. We'll do it upside down because we are going to use this. Let's see how much of this I want to cut off, because I am going to use the part that I'm just going to cut that part off because I don't want to mess up where I did the inverted corner rounder, and I'll use that somewhere else. So now I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off each side. Then I'll do my inverted corner rounder. Got ahead of myself earlier. And now, this should work, friends. Beautiful. I love it. So let's come back in with the inverted corner rounder. And the reason I wanted to do this little inverted corner rounder is I just thought it added, because I'm not really like a corner rounder person. Very rarely will you see me use it, but I just thought it would add like just something like mimic that. I just thought it would be cute. Okay, so our pocket is built, and then like I'll have my ribbon right here, and then this little guy will tuck right down in behind, and no one will be the wiser. Like, it'll be in there, safekeeping. It will not be touching photos. It will be stored in the little pocket. I love this. So now we are going to see if we can create the face for the front of this. And if you are using any of this paper, you can use any kind you want. I wanted the title, like here's the O, and I just really wanted the title to show up on this, and I thought I may want to do a little bit of inking and stenciling, so that's why I opted for this color. Now, when Chat created my little printable for you, Chat thought it was more of a sky blue color, but that's okay. Chat also knew this was the photo I was working with. Hey, Nedra, my sweet long distance friend. We just made a brochure pocket, and we're getting ready to decorate the front. And this is going to be for the title page of my Overland Park album. So all of my friends who were at convention, I'm missing all of y'all really bad. I'm missing you. So this measurement is 4.5. Okay. So we are going to go. Let's do 4 1/4. And then I think this one is at 5 5/8. If my memory is correct. Oh no, that's at 5 1/2. So I'm gonna do this one. Oh, I scored at 5 5/8. So this is, we're gonna do 5 1/4. And all of my corners are bent on this piece of paper. And I really hate to cover up that beautiful paper. And see, this way, friends, we're going to have a little bit of that blue showing, just a little bit. And now I want to pull in a pencil. Surely I have a pencil somewhere. And I kind of just want to make just a little spot so I know where to punch. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not really going to measure. We're just going to eyeball it. It's just paper. It's just paper, friends. And if it's not in a good spot, you know what we'll do? We'll just cut another piece of paper. Whoops. We will just cut another piece of paper. And I think we're going to be just fine. It's not exactly perfect, but if you follow me, you know I don't go for exactly perfect. I go for somewhere close. Now, my friends who like it to be exactly perfect, you can measure and make sure that you have center marks, but I do not want this video to be really, really long tonight. And our focus is just on the pocket. And I am a little bit off, and you know what? I very well may come back and cut one off camera that is a little more centered, but right now I'm just giving you the gist of it, okay? And then I could just put some kind of little something up there. So only the people who know it's off there are those of you who are watching this. No, I'm not trying to stress you out on a Monday, girlfriend. I just said you can totally measure and make sure yours is centered. You know I don't do that. And I very well may end up putting a little embellishment right here. And then the only people who's going to know I didn't center it are those of you who watch this. And that's probably what I'll do. I'll put some kind of little sticker right there so you won't know. Or other people won't know. You will know, but other people will not know. And then I'm going to do, I just want to make sure I didn't cut my title too large. Grab the tweezers, friends, the tweezers. I have never been one of those mark it, center it. I have never been one of those. Even when I thought I was a perfectionist, I did not do that. I've always, when it comes to this kind of thing, I've always been an eyeballer. So I am going to stencil. I can already tell you I'm going to stencil. Oh, this is going to be so pretty, friends. So, if you guys want to create some kind of little pocket. Oh, is that not adorable? I love this. I love it. See where I can get that Cricut mat to go. So I do think I'm going to stencil. So I'm going to pull these things out for the time being. And we're just going to slide this right off to the side. And I want something soft. So I'm going to come in with some sky blue Summer Sky ink. I think it's supposed to be like, I don't know what the color is supposed to coordinate to, but Summer Sky is the name of the ink. And I am going to lay down, this is one of the new Diamond Lattice stencils. I love this stencil. And this is very light. I don't necessarily have to tap off because it's extremely light, but I will put my little mat out. Go in a circular motion. And then I just want just hints here and there. And you know, I love a stencil that just sort of fades away. See how that just sort of did this little triangular motion right here? And then I think I'm just going to come in, because I'm not really sure what may come down here. Just whatever ink is on the brush. We're just going to drop a little bit more. Just whatever ink is on the brush. Well, that didn't have any ink. None whatsoever, friends. There. And while we're at it, you know it's probably going to happen on the page anyway. If you know me, you know. And this will have a very light effect because it's a light ink. And we're going to go ahead and clean this up. We're going to put just one little spritz of water and clean the brush. I'm loving that, friends, and while that kind of gets a little dry, it won't take it long. Hold it up and let you see. Now the water splatter, the ink splatter is going to be very light, but it will have just a little small effect. I don't know that you can see that. It's not going to be anything bold and over the top, but it will have a little bit of an effect. So let me pull. I'm going to start with embellishments. This is what I have left from the playbook that I designed, so I may not have everything. I'm just going to see. Oh, there's In My Garden, even though this is not my garden. I'm just going to look at these before I go to, because I do want to hide that so my girlfriend April don't get totally stressed out. I don't want to stress you, my dear. Oh, nope, I don't have any title embellishments there, any kind of stickers. So let's go to stickers then. Tell me, have you guys created, ooh, that may be cute. Oh, that right there may do it, friends. Have you guys created a pocket for your pages before? I I think I like that smaller leaf better. That right there may do it, friends. I would love to know if you have created. I'm going to shabby this up a little bit, friends. This is an embossed leaf. And I'm just going to shabby this up. I'm going to use, doesn't this, my CTMH friends, doesn't this take you back? I'm going to just shabby this up a little bit. Just here and there. Because it's white on the inside. See how I just shabbied that up a little bit? Now, you may not want to shabby yours up, but this is embossed too. Let's see if we can. Shabby that up. Oh! Well, you'll have to tell me about that, Miss April. I've never made one, period. This is my first pocket. So I was like excited, thinking I could actually make one. And I just came in here and sat down and decided what measurement I needed. And then I put it in chat and said, here, friend, make this for my friends. Oh, girl, I've already worn one of those out, Gina, and this is my second. But who's counting, right? Who is counting? This is my second. I found somebody on one of the Close to My Heart buy sale groups was selling theirs, and I was like, oh, I want it. Me, please, me. Please pick me. And I got it, and the whole kit came because I love it. Oh, definitely. And I will share. This will go in the group. This will go in the group. But just remember, I created the blue pocket first, and then I cut this one out. And then don't forget to do your score line at the bottom. And I scored at 5 5/8. Like I lined up at 5 5/8 and then put my score line. And that's what gave this little tiny flap at the bottom. And, yeah, y'all know me. I'm all about it. All about it, friends. So I decided I'm going to dive into my old Close to My Heart foam dots, and I'm going to use them. That's going to be perfect right there, friends. And it covered up that I wasn't straight. Okay, now we're going to work on our word Overland Park. Oh, where did my V go? And I'm going to have to stand up. So if my hair gets in the camera, I apologize. This is going to be ultimately crooked. I'm going to put on some adhesive because that will rub off. Hello, Sandy! And that'll hold my pocket right there, friends. And then we are going to use this fella. This little fella. I think this is supposed to have the font that I chose. And don't even ask me the font that I chose. I think it's supposed to have a little bit of a slant. I think. But I'm going to do my best for it not to have a slant. Now, I will come back like I said, not tomorrow, because tomorrow night I could use all the prayers from my friends to work on reports, because Wednesday is the first set of deadlines. So tomorrow night I will not be here, but probably Wednesday night, and we will at least put together the floral. Now, y'all know me, I'm an eyeballer, so if this is not exactly straight, I'm going to be okay with it. I've tried not to give my friend April a stress out on Monday evening right now, but I am okay if it's not exactly straight. And if anybody wants to know what font this is, when I turn my laptop back on, it will still be saved, and I can tell you what the font is, but right this very moment, I cannot tell you the font. It's Cricut, but I cannot tell you the font. I just thought it was pretty. I wanted something that would be pretty. So we're going to do the P first. And because I cut this from designer paper, I was so afraid that it would rip. And so I just put it on the very first setting of lightweight cardstock. And it did okay. Oops. Oh, how pretty is that, friends? I'm loving that. Now, I want to pull my stickers out. So, let's do this. Let's go back to the page, because this is going to be something that is going to help me determine what I'm going to do. And then because I use repositionable, I just rub that off. Rub it off back here, because when I'm ready to adhere this to the page, I will use more of this red line tape to adhere it. So this is going to sort of happen here. I'm going to have some paper layer over here. This will have to get adhered first, and then this is going to overlap. But I'm going to have, just like in the sketch I created, I'm going to have a little bit of paper layer, and it probably will come down because I want, now my hydrangea is not going to be huge, but I will have a hydrangea I build up here. I don't know that I'll have, maybe I'll have some stenciling right down here, and maybe a little sticker or something. I'm not going to have a lot right there, and that's what I'm looking for right now. Stickers. Stickers, stickers. Oh, definitely we're going to have some butterflies. Ooh, this little cart. That little cart would be cute down there. Butterfly would be cute. Or this would be really cute, because this was the entrance to the park. Like, this was where we parked. That may be cute. I'm loving the dragonflies. I think I'm going to like that. and then just have a little bit of inking right here, and then maybe a couple of little butterflies. I think I'm liking that, friends. I'm thinking I'm liking that. But we're not ready for that just yet. I just wanted to see if there was anything else I needed to add to that. I think I'm going to use the word happiness. And this was another reason I went with the inverted corner rounder. I just feel like I need let's do the word beauty. And we're going to put a foam dot right under that too, friends. I've had these so long. I love it. Now, the only thing I feel like I want to add to this, yes, I am going to put this in one of our page protectors, and what will happen is I'm getting ready to do the tag. I'm going to go ahead and do the tag, and then I'm going to put an extra long little piece of ribbon. Let me get the stopper put back in this, if it's not already smushed up and dried. So this was just for my stash, and of all the greens I had, this I felt was the most not yellow green. You know what I'm talking about? I had a lot of green that was yellow green, and this was the most not yellow green that would coordinate. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put an extra long ribbon, and then I will leave it long until it goes in the page protector, and then I will trim it just enough that you can use it to pull this. So this will be, I'll draw lines on this, and this will be the actual journal card, but then this little guy will tuck right back in behind it as well. So let's go ahead and punch a hole. And again, you know me, I'm just eyeballing. I'm just eyeballing. And I'm going to do kind of, like I said, kind of long. And this is like a burlappy ribbon, but I'm wanting to stash bust a little bit. Just stash bust. And I have to be really careful right here, friends, because if I don't, you know what's going to happen. We're going to pull right through that card. And so when this page is actually put together, oh yeah, see, I can already trim some of that off. And then this will go right in the back. And of course, you know me, your girl is going to want some bling bling. Right before this video started, my friend April, who is also on this video, sent me a funny reel. And it was this little kiddo calling Hobby Lobby Hooby Looby. I'm going to go to the Hooby Looby and get me some more bling bling. And let's put a bling right here. And these are two different size blings. One is a little bit larger and one is a little bit smaller. Hello, Dawn. Oh, yes. Girl, I just created a pocket for, this is the title page. Now, we'll come back on Wednesday and do the rest of this page. This will hold our brochure. If I grab the brochure and not the back of the envelope, this will hold our Overland Park brochure, Dawn, right here in this little pocket. And then this will be a pretty little journal card. And then the piece of that I cut off, we will probably tuck like right up in here, or we may tuck it down here, but we're going to have it tucked somewhere so that carries over. So that is pretty much it for this part. See, this took me 45 minutes. This is why we're not doing the whole thing tonight. Wednesday night, we'll see where we get. I may have a lot of the blossoms already like glued together. And because I am going to build a hydrangea blossom right here. And it's not going to be huge, but I will build a hydrangea blossom. Or that may be what I do down here. I may do the hydrangea blossom down here and do some other kind of little embellishment up here. Not sure. Not sure. But here's one more. Look at the sketch. And let me know. Do you want me to post the sketch in the group as well? I can. It'll be a picture and you just print it. And then I will post this in the group. But we'll try our best to finish it on Wednesday. Now don't forget, we're 9.5 this way. We score at 2.5, score at 2.5. Then we turn, we cut at 6. Then we turn and we measure to 5 5/8. And then we score. And then we trim the little corners, and then we trimmed a little bit off right there so that when we folded, we got this great pocket. Okay, I'll drop these in, and Wednesday we will try to get the page finished. I do think what I may like down here, because I don't want that cluster to be heavy, I think I may build it right here, and I think that may be the perfect thing to go right there. And then, yeah, oh, there is one more thing I want to do, friends. There is one more thing. I want to pull just a piece of this jute. This came from the Hobby Lobby too, friends. You know, we're all about the Hobby Lobby. And let's just pull in a little bit of that color. And we'll just come right over top of that. And do a little ribbon. I think, now I've created some beautiful albums in my day, but I think this Overland Park will probably be one of the prettiest albums that I've ever created. And it's probably going to be because I'm going to be using all of this Hydrangea Haven. And it's just, the sky was beautiful on the day that we were there, wasn't it, Dawn? It was absolutely gorgeous. And these papers, along with all of these botanicals, are just going to be so pretty. I've already put the botanical, I haven't shared those pictures yet. I've been trying to share the Free Spirit playbook I created first. But I do have some photos already on my Hydrangea Haven playbook. So, yep, I think we're going to build our floral right here. And then we'll just have some layers up here, and we may have like another little phrase saying. And there's going to be a little bit of stenciling. I want to carry this stencil in, and that'll be it. This will be the title page. So we hopefully will finish. Oh, thank you, Gina. I'm getting ready to hop off too. Thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoyed this. And if anybody wants the name of the font, let me know. And when I turn my laptop back on, it'll be there, and I can tell you which font I used. So I will drop both of these in tonight in the group and let you guys, hopefully they will print out okay. This I printed as a picture. Hey, Nedra. I printed this out as a picture, and it did just fine. It just had this little bit of white at the top, but it's fine. So that's it for tonight, friends. Leave me a comment. Let me know, do you like the pocket? Is that something you think you want to include on scrapbook pages? Because Dawn and I got a lot of memorabilia on this trip. A lot of memorabilia, and I want to include it, but I don't want the memorabilia to take away from the prettiness of whatever paper and whatever page I'm creating. So that was why when I got finished with my reports today and my eyes needed a break, I guess it was about 6:30, I was like, let's just sit down and figure out how to make a pocket. So that's what we did. Alrighty, friends. Oh, thank you. I'll finish it on Wednesday, Nedra, and hopefully it will be a pretty page when I get it finished. Hopefully. You guys have a great Monday evening and enjoy the rest of your week. I will keep you updated if I can be here Wednesday. If not, we'll do it on Thursday. Okay, friends? Happy scrapping!